Here we go. 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. We should be starting any second. We live? Hey, we're live on the Facebooks.
There we go. How we doing?
We're doing good. Tiger
Yep.
Talks episode 8.
8.
8.
Oh, wow.
Man, we're 2 away from double digits.
Double digits.
Can you believe that?
That'd be nice.
So when we walked
Hit
in
that
today,
before the holidays, maybe.
before the turkey hits?
No, before Christmas.
Oh, before Christmas, for sure.
Maybe.
Santa would want us to do that.
Absolutely.
So before we got
Got me
started
close.
today,
You having good? You good?
yeah,
Am I throwing you off?
a little bit.
I'm not trying to.
Okay, so before we dive in today, there was something that came up on my Facebook page about Terrell playing in Waco.
It is.
What's that about?
Well, we're going to talk about that later, maybe.
So you don't want to tell us right now?
No, let's do it later.
Okay.
Let's do it later.
All right, so the second thing that's on my mind is that I got a text from my mom,
Yeah.
and I put that in the group there so I could give you a heads up. But my mom wanted you to give her clarity on what exactly your 3 points were from episode 7. What were the topics that you discussed?
Patience,
Patience,
courage,
courage,
and humility.
and this was all from the perspective of Joseph,
Yes. The earthly father of Jesus.
earthly
Yes.
father of Jesus. Are we going to do any more of that today?
No, I'm going in a different direction. Let's go in a different direction. We're going to do some finances.
Some finances.
The most, not the most fun topic, but I think it will be eye-opening for people because I'm going to open up I'm going to kind of pull the curtain back and just kind of talk about what I've gone through this year and how I came to a realization that I've got to make some hearty changes in my life.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about finances today. Before we talk about that, I just want to encourage everybody that's watching. They're popping in and out of this live today. If you got a question, put it in the comments. If you're watching on the
Absolutely.
replay, just put hashtag replay and let us know that you came by and watched. I want to ask Rodney about a few other things this morning before we jump into finances, but any thoughts on the Cowboys' big win this last week?
That is a win.
You don't put too much into that.
2-17.
Yeah. And then how about Dak becoming the all-time Cowboys passing leader?
Well, so here's what I'll say.
Okay.
That's great. I do think Dak is a great quarterback. I've got friends. I've got one especially that lives up in the Northeast. I won't say where, Maryland, but I mean, anyway, I love that guy, but he's not a big fan of Dak. And but I am a big fan of Dak. I think Dak, if you put him on the Kansas City Chiefs, he would have a similar record that Pat Mahomes has. Pat Mahomes is a very good quarterback, but Andy Reid gets the most out of him as well. I think the problem with Dak has been that he has not had the coaching that he has needed to perform in a system, and that Jerry has not done from top to bottom, built a team. He's built a team of stars. CeeDee Lamb's a star. Pickens is emerging as a star. The running back's a very good star. But if you notice, they went out and finally traded and replaced what they had lost in Micah Parsons, and that guy had an immediate effect.
Yeah.
Now, again, it was a 2-17. Let's see what they do the next 2 weeks, because if they win both games the next 2 weeks, now you've got something to say about it. I still think that the hill is very large because they started off the season 3-5-1. They're 4-5-1 now, which is better, but it would have been better if they were 5-4 or 5-3 versus 4-5-1 or 3-5-1, and because you got to have even if they run the table, and everybody's like, wow, we're going to the Super Bowl, that's a hard road because you're going to get into the playoffs and you're going to be, let's say the absolute best thing happened where they ran the table and they go, which would put them at 11-5-1.
Okay.
That would probably put them still in a wild card position, and that would mean that even if they went 10-6-1 and lost one game, so they go 8-0 or 7-1, whatever the record is that they need to go, it'd be 7. It would be, now that would have been from last week, so it would either be 6-1 now or 7-0 now. Even if they do that and they finish as a wild card, you have they don't have another break. The playoffs start immediately, and that's a long road that's a tough. Football is a very tough sport. It's probably the toughest sport. I still think hockey is by far the toughest sport because of everything you have to do on the ice and keep up with the puck and the hits that you're taking. But football is one of the toughest sports to play week in and week out, and it takes a toll on your body. And they're not going to get that break now. And to go 6-1 or 7-0 really is tough to do. And then also to win 3 or 4 games that you have to win in the playoffs, and the playoffs take it up another level. The NFL playoffs are by far the best part of any sport there is. I love fall baseball. I love October baseball, but there is nothing like the NFL playoffs. Nothing.
Yeah. So you brought up Andy Reid, so I'm going to go here.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Reid obviously is a great coach, but the Chiefs' record isn't that good. Was that a backhanded stab at Schottenheimer? Or we look at Peyton over in the Broncos. You know, he doesn't have as much talent as those guys have, and he's doing a pretty dang good job.
He's a great coach, I think. And, I'm surprised at Brian Schottenheimer, and I think he's doing a great job with the hand he's dealt. Again, we don't get to see the full effect because the owner is very heavy-handed. And as long as that owner is very heavy-handed, I think you're going to see a compromise product out on the field. And it's unfortunate because it's the best stadium in the world, and it's the best franchise in the world.
So you're giving him a get-out-of-jail Jerry card?
No, I don't. I don't really. I mean, it's. I'm a casual fan, so you're speaking to a guy that really. I gave my thoughts on it. I could probably get beat up in the comments about it because there are diehard Cowboys out there, and there are people that just don't like Dak. And I really think Dak is a good quarterback, and I think he would be better if he was in a winning. I think he would do well at Denver. I think he would do well at KC. I think he would do well in a variety of places. But
well, okay, so let's get to a sport that I know that you absolutely positively love and you're very passionate about, and that's basketball.
Yep.
So we've got some crazy things going on with the Dallas Mavs. Nico finally got fired, which is what the Mavs fan wanted. You know, they were chanting, "Fire Nico." A guy in my neighborhood, he's always walking his big old dog in the neighborhood, and he's always has a bunch of Mavs gear on. So I asked him about it, and he said, well, I got a magnet on my fridge that says "Fire Nico," and that finally happened. We'll see what's going to happen now. What do you think happens with the Mavs from here on out?
Well, Mark came out. Mark Cuban has been involved, has gotten back his, I guess, a seat at the owner's table or has input now with the owner. Here's my thing. I think they've got a star budding in Cooper Flag, but I think they need to add 2 or 3 more. You're trying to win now with a very often injured player who's currently on the sideline in Anthony Davis. And you're also trying to win with an aged veteran who is good but is also starting to show his age and starting to have injuries as well in Kyrie Irving. I think they're all both very good, but I'm not sure you're going to be able to get them on the court for a full postseason as well, because the playoffs are different in any sport. The playoffs get tougher, they get more strenuous, and they get more physical. And so, if you lose either one of them to injury, which is possible.
Sure.
And I think that was why there was a constant criticism with Luka, is that he was never properly in shape to carry the load in the playoffs. And I don't disagree with that assessment. I will acknowledge and say that Luka worked on his body very much in the offseason. This year it was very evident, but it's a grueling test for 82 games and then playoffs, and the playoffs are very tough. In fact, most of the playoffs. I don't think they may play first round or 5 games, but most of the playoffs are 7-game sets. So if you go the full 7 games in a playoff, you are going to be it's going to stretch you physically.
Sure.
I think that, just a little side note, I think that's what's happened to Kansas City in the football side. They've been in the Super Bowl several times in the last few years, and that's a long season.
Hard on the body.
It's a very long season. You're talking about playing from July to February, basically. And so you only get off March, April, May, and June. That's 4 months. That's a short time. It's kind of like what the Rangers went through after winning the World Series, as they played so long. And poor guy Jonah Heim, he played catcher. Basically, he didn't take a day off from the 1st of August all the way till the end. He played every day at catcher, and it was a grueling test, and it might have hurt. It might have damaged his career going forward. But he did it, and he'll always be remembered as a World Series champion, and he has a ring now, and it was worth it. I ask you right now. I would say this right now. If you asked him right now, was it worth it? He would tell you yes.
Yeah, he'd tell you yes, because there's a lot of greats.
There's a lot of people that don't win titles.
They don't win a title.
And so,
that's a fantastic point.
It's a great deal, and I think he would tell you that. And again, so I would say, can they win it? What I would do is I would trade Anthony Davis, try to get a draft pick, a good draft pick, or I'd try to get a young, mobilized player that could build. I like the guy that they picked up beyond Anthony Davis that came from the Lakers, Christie, I think.
Yeah.
Max Christie.
He's a great young player.
That kid.
Got a lot of heart.
And I think he can complement Cooper Flagg, and I think you can add another one. And you would potentially.
You know what Zach Cooper calls, do you know his nickname for Anthony Davis? You haven't heard? I thought it was hilarious. He calls him street clothes.
There you go. And that's probably the deal there.
Hey, we got Andrew on the board. Andrew, how you doing, man? Say hello.
Andrew.
Not doing bad at all. Not doing bad.
Today's your last day before Thanksgiving break, huh?
Yes, it is.
Any big plans?
Other than Thanksgiving, nothing much.
You look like you need some rest.
Do I?
Yeah.
Duly noted.
Duly noted. Hey, why don't you tell us what's on the board? We got some comments coming in. I just
Eric
want to see
I can
see
tell.
what's going
I don't
on.
have my glasses on, but I can tell enough that that's Eric Richardson.
What do we got there, Andrew?
Well, Eric wanted to put in Kelly Slater as the best overall athlete with 11 world titles.
Is that surfing?
Yes. Eric also added, I feel like most pro surfers would excel at other sports, but other sport athletes would drown.
I think he's right about that.
Eric's right. I mean, I'm not going to argue Eric because I don't know surfing. I'm gonna defer to Eric on that. Eric, I got one for you though. So and this will be a good chance to segue, and I would highly love to spend some time with it. I've tried to get with him on the golf course, and he won't get with me on the golf course yet.
He's
and
afraid.
That's a challenge.
That's because he's afraid.
And Eric, I would fly out to play Tory with you in a heartbeat if I could pick your brain for just a few minutes, because Eric actually made a comment on one of the RCO posts today.
RCO is roofing company owners, the private community.
Yeah, about the project manager, I think.
Okay.
He made a great comment on that, and it kind of cracked the door enough to where I could see that what I'm about to talk about, or what I want to talk about today, is something that he probably has a very good handle on. And I think sometimes you can be too far on one end and too far on the other end.
Too far on what end?
In the financial world.
Okay.
And I will tell you, I was on this end right here, which is not the end you want to be on, especially the last year and a half. And I sat down. It's been a little bit slow in our area. And I think suppliers and manufacturers and even roof contractors would say that it's been a little bit slow in the last few weeks. And I just took the opportunity to start working on my back end a little bit.
Okay, well,
I guess that's what you would call it, right? The back end?
It's the back end. We're going to get to that. Before we do that, I'm going to call my mom, okay?
Uh-oh.
We're going to call Mom, and she may or may not pick up. This would be Mom Swisher.
We're on live with Mama
Swisher.
Swisher.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What'd you say?
I said, hello, Michael.
Oh, hi, Mom. How you doing?
Okay, did you try to call me?
Yeah, I tried to call you. You're live on air right now.
Uh-oh.
You are in studio on the phone with Rodney Lawson for Tiger Talks.
Oh,
Hey,
my
Mom
goodness.
Swisher, how are you?
That's Rodney. He says hello.
Well, hello, Rodney.
So this is a quick call, and I apologize for the ambush. But, Mom, did you have some questions for Rodney? If you could just ask him one
me.
question, what would your question be?
Oh, me.
Okay. What is the name of the book and the author, if you could tell me, that you talked about last week?
So
about
it's-
Joseph.
I wish I had brought it. It's out in the truck, actually. I'll send Mike a picture to send to you. But it's called The Consecration of St. Joseph. It's a Catholic book, but it's a really great read for no matter what denomination you are. Because what I do is, like in the Catholic theology, they pray to St. Joseph, and I just, in my own mind, I just kind of switch up and pray to God instead of St. Joseph. I just believe in praying to God on that, and there's nothing against. I'm not trying to take I don't want anybody that's
Are
Catholic.
you taking shots at Catholics
No,
this
I'm not.
morning?
No, I'm not. I'm not doing that at all. But at the end of the day, I believe you can pray. I believe in praying directly to God, and I don't discount that you can pray to the saint. But I also think that your prayer can be made to God, because it's still about becoming more humble, gaining patience. But it takes you through 33 days. And I'm in day 28 right now, or 27. And I think Mama Swisher, it's a great book that just uses Bible verses and reflections on Joseph's life, even though we only have a small snippet of his life. It uses reflections of what he did in his obedience and the three visions that he had from the angel of God when Mary was exposed as being pregnant, when he needed to take them to Egypt, and then when he needed to bring them back home. And it just uses those three areas where we see Joseph in the Bible, and really talks about how he displayed these traits that they used.
Oh, that sounds really good.
It is. It's very good.
Okay, Mom. I'm
You
gonna.
can get it on Amazon as well, but that's where I got it. And I'll send a picture to Mike to send to you as soon as we finish this podcast.
Sounds good, Mom.
Thank you. Thank you, Rodney.
Hey,
Absolutely.
I love you, Mama.
Absolutely.
Sorry
I love
to
you so
sorry to
much.
ambush you like that, but thanks for joining.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I enjoyed it.
I'll see you
Have a
soon.
great night. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye-bye.
There you go.
That's my mom.
That's important stuff right there.
She wants to know.
That's right.
She's very disappointed, Rodney, that you're not continuing in that book.
I will. When we move back into after Thanksgiving, we'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah, let's.
So we're going
I'll
to get
go
to
back into
finances. Before we get to finances, and by the way, Eric Richardson, thank you so much, man. We love our Catholic brothers. We love all our people. Eric, you're a good dude. I understand back surgery is going to keep you off the golf course. But as soon as you're able, Rodney definitely wants to come out and play. So we want to get to finances. Before we do that, any thoughts on the Rangers off season?
Not really yet, because there's no trades that have been made or nothing like that. So it's just kind of dead right now. But I think as we get through, I think through the holidays, we could have something to talk, or right after Christmas, we could have a lot to talk about, because there'll be some moves made.
Okay.
I think between now and the time we do our next one, we could have some moves to talk about, because they may actually make some moves today. I'm not sure yet, and I don't know if they are or not. But there's some that are being non-tendered or tendered, and they're trying to trade them before they're non-tendered. But I don't know if that's going to happen, and it'd be total speculation. And I don't think it'd be really. I don't think it'd be something that we could speak on right now.
Okay.
But I think we could in a couple of weeks. I think we'll have something definite to talk about.
Nothing to say about hockey or F1 or NASCAR or soccer.
I don't do those. The NASCAR is our buddy Keeping It Rio with Chuck Allen.
There you go. There's the obligatory Chuck Allen reference.
There you go.
Every podcast,
There
Chuck
you go.
Allen's name gets brought up.
I try to build
The
them
great
up,
Chuck Allen. Not just
All
Chuck
right.
Allen, it's the great
But-
Chuck Allen.
Yeah, if we can, I'd like to talk about finances because I think it's very important.
Okay, I'm going to turn
And-
the floor over to you. Take it, Rodney.
All
Go.
right, so in Zechariah 4:6, it says, not by will or might, but by the Spirit of the Lord. And I think when you talk about this, it's a very hard subject, and it's a very subject that I struggle with in some areas. In fact, about a month ago, I put it out there on Facebook. Man, they don't teach you about finances. You and I had a healthy conversation while we were out of town visiting Zach Cooper.
That's it.
And so
The Zapper. Cooper.
but you don't get this, and just disclaimer, one, I'm not a financial expert. One, I don't have a degree in finance, and two, I am just like you. I am just like you.
So
just
this is not financial
90%
advice.
I'm just like 90%. I'm struggling with this.
Is this a fiduciary disclaimer?
This is a fiduciary disclaimer that I am not a guru in finance. However,
Okay, let's
I
go.
will say this, that I went out and started researching. I'm reading a book called Simple Money, Rich Life, and it's a great book. It is a very good book, and I highly recommend it. You can go to the guru out of Nashville that offers financial peace and offers all that. I don't subscribe to all of their agenda, and maybe that's part of my problem. But I will say this.
Does that guy take credit cards on his website?
I don't know. And I'm not worried about it. But I'm going to push through and talk about this.
You thought that was funny, didn't you, Andrew?
And,
Yeah, that's great. I got that from Michael Jr.
so anyway, that's a good one.
Good comedian.
I like Michael Jr.
He's a
There
funny
you
guy.
go. You're talking about Mike Jr. Kodak?
No. Michael Jr., he's a comedian.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were talking
He's
about
hilarious.
your son.
He
Your
can
son
go.
is Junior's
He can
son.
go on a long run about making fun of.
I thought you were talking about
The guy in Nashville
young
that you're
Mike.
talking
I
about.
thought you were talking about young Mike Koday, which I love. I
No,
love
no,
Mike
no.
Koday Jr. And so, anyway, you know, I went through this and started doing a deep dive. I did a dive into my. I'm old school, so and I don't have it here, but I have a legal pad where I write down every expense, whether it's material, labor, office expense, office pay, commissions, eating out, gas, miscellaneous, truck, church giving, taxes. I write it all out.
I thought that was interesting that you mentioned eating out right and then gas right after that.
Yeah, that's a good play on words.
Are we going someplace that'll give us gas?
I don't know, but anyway,
I was thinking Hurtado's barbecue.
There you go.
You feeling barbecue today?
Well, I can't today. I've got to get back to Kaufman because we're going to Waco. So,
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Didn't want to. But anyway, so I did credit cards. I did roofing account, did personal account. We have another account because we sold a piece of property 2 years ago that we have that the payment comes in. I'm owner financing it, and it's a great. It was one of the best financial decisions I made. But I went through this, and was it not brutal? It was very brutal. And I learned two things. One, my spending is out of control. It's not something I'm happy to talk about. And I learned that I'm not being a good steward of my money. I am giving. Always have given ever since I opened the doors at Tiger Roofing. I'm proud of that, but I could be doing so much better. Now, does that mean I would be giving so much more? I don't know. What I do know is
So when you did a breakdown of your finances and you said,
it was ugly. It was
where was it going? Where was the money going?
eating out and miscellaneous, impulsive buying.
Impulsive buying. Like give us some examples. I mean,
So let's say you have, and I'm going to hypothetical, and I'm going to change up the numbers somewhat. Let's say you have $753, okay? and you know more money's coming in, so you take that, you can spend that extra 53, and you go out and you buy, or you go golfing. Not, and I love to play golf, but you or you go, you're in academy and you see, even though you have 30 pairs of socks at home, you buy another 15 pairs.
Academy is a very dangerous place to go if you're trying to save money.
But it's just a matter of not being disciplined about what you're spending on and where you're spending. You see, look, I've got 753. As long as I don't go below 700, I'm good. So you spend the 53, and then next thing you know, coming into your office is a labor guy that needs X amount of dollars, and so now you're below the 700 again. And it's just about having a budget and having a discipline, and it starts with a mindset and your attitude. And the thing is, obviously the number when you're running a roofing company, it wasn't just 753, but it's we're running a decent sized roofing company, and it was just a mindset that, okay, hey man, we're right here. Let's just stop in here and go out to eat.
Yeah.
And then when we sold, or when we didn't sell, but when we closed down the diner, instead of immediately cutting off the eating out, because what also happened in the last 5 years is I would eat a lot at the diner. It was part of our business.
Yeah,
and
you're
so
working, you're
it
eating.
just worked. It just created a how do I say it? It just created a trend that became a habit. It actually created a habit that, well, we're here at the diner, let's just eat instead of going home and eating. And what I've discovered,
Hey,
especially,
I love this comment right
Go
here.
ahead.
Eric says, so you need to join a country club.
I did that.
Expense it as a business expense. Take clients golfing, save money, and leverage it. Leverage your membership.
That's part of what I did.
Okay.
I was in multiple ones, Eric, and that's also part of the problem. Is that I was in, at one time I was in 3 golf clubs, and it was the fact that each golf club was running me about $250, $300, and you think, well, that's no big deal. I can cover that in one job.
Right.
But the problem is, you cover that in one job, then you go out to eat, and I am embarrassed to tell y'all how much we were going out to eat on a monthly basis. I won't mention that.
Well, dang it, man! Now everybody wants to know.
I know.
How much were you spending going out to eat?
It was too much, way too much.
1,000,
It was too much.
2,000,
It was too much. And
3,000,
And so anyway,
4,000,
you can go all the way up if you want.
5,000.
I'm not going to answer that question, but
6,000.
I learned through the process.
Wait.
No. I learned through
7,000.
I learned through this process.
He's
And
not
God-
playing with me, Andrew.
God got a hold of me. And said, hey, and it was just a quiet little voice. And it was kind of unique because the very minute that I posted about that on Facebook, hey, they don't teach us when we're growing up how to run our finances. And they don't. It's a trial and error. And I don't care how many gurus you invest in. Yes, you can go do this university, or you can go do this financial plan. There are millions of Christian, heck, I heard the other day you can go to AI or Chat GPT, and you can put up how to do budgets, how to do this, and how to do that, and it'll create a deal. But a lot of times you just have to go through the trial. You have to go through the trial.
Here's the
and
problem. The problem
Go
is that you could hire the best bookkeeper on the planet.
Yep.
You could run your finances through the latest AI doohickey. You could invest in, like corporate grade business accounting software.
Mm-hmm.
But the best accountant in the industry is not going to be able to keep you from swiping your own credit card.
No, and that was the problem.
Yeah.
Is the card became easy to swipe. I'm not in financial trouble. I want to disclose that right now. I'm not about to bankrupt my company. I'm not about to. We're not crying. We're not going to have to sell our house or anything like that. But what it made me realize, and I did most of it, and I would highly recommend that you do it with your spouse. I did most of it, and then I sat down several times. And what was the cool thing about this is my wife and I began eating in more, not just because of what I was discovering, although that was a big part of it, but also because it gave us a chance to set, and you can't really see this. Can you zoom out a little bit, Andrew? Yeah. So it gave us a chance to sit at a table, kind of like me and Mike are doing, and we just sat there and talked. And that has probably been as much of a blessing indirectly to our marriage as some other things that we're starting to do. I listened to a lot of Craig Groeschel, and he came out with a book a couple of years ago called The Power to Change. And as it goes forward, and whatever you're struggling in, and I'm struggling in this, but I'm starting to make a change because that change is very important to me, because I want to leave a legacy back to my kids, to my grandkids, and also I want me and my wife to be able to enjoy our life. I know roofers that work into their 70s and 80s, and there's nothing wrong with that. Please, if you splice it, don't splice it up to where I take a jab at. There is nothing wrong with it.
Sounds like a good
you
idea,
can work
Andrew.
till you die. You can work till you die. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to take time to enjoy life, and you have to be able to take time. And God doesn't want you to not play golf, or God doesn't, like I've taken up softball again, and I've had a beautiful reconnected with some people that one, I'll be honest, one I didn't really care for most of my life, and he probably didn't care for me. He probably wasn't even worried about me.
What's his name?
Nope. But at the end of the day, the fact is that I have reconnected, and we become pretty darn good friends here lately. And you can't. Here's what I'm learning: is you can't hold grudges.
No.
But at the end of the day, it goes beyond that. You have to love others, but you also have to be you have to add discipline in your life. And I'm trying to add discipline in my life in 3 areas right now: finances, weight. I am not that huge, but I still don't eat properly. And I like today on the way over here, I should have got up early enough. I was kind of being lazy this morning. I should have got up early enough, made me some oatmeal, put some blueberries in it, and came here. Instead, I drove through Waxahachie. I stopped at my favorite place. Doug Curry, you're a great man, and you have a wonderful place called Oma's, but it is probably not the healthiest thing for a
What's his
person.
name?
Doug Curry.
Doug, I just want you to know, Doug, yesterday I called Rodney and I said, Rodney, I'm going down 77 to Waxahachie. Where should I go? What did you tell me?
I told him Mikasa.
That's right, Doug. He's playing you.
No, I'm not. I'm not playing. There's 3 places.
So take us back to the day that you sat down with Kathy at the kitchen table.
Yeah, so
You sat down at the kitchen table, you put everything out, you had a conversation, you said, Kathy, listen,
yeah.
you need to cook more.
I didn't say that.
But
I wouldn't dare say that. She is cooking
we're
more.
eating out too much, Kathy. It's time for you to pick it up.
I didn't say, Kathy, you need to cook more.
Kathy, I've done the spreadsheet and you're just not cooking enough.
Yeah, I don't know if Kathy's watching this right now. I think she's at our
But I'm gonna splice this up
I think
and
she's
send
at her
it to her.
granddaughter. Yeah, I'm sure
It's
you are.
Kathy at tigerroofingtx.com,
There
right?
you go.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna send
plug
it to her.
Kathy right now, everybody. No, but at the end of the day, you had to be better about this. We had way too much miscellaneous stuff, and we just had way too much impulsive buying. But the eating out had also gotten out of control. And so we're working on it. We're not there. We're actually not there yet, but we are moving. We are taking a journey and moving towards there. And here's the idea. Here's the thing, people, that I've learned. You have to have the attitude and the mindset. And then also, the great thing that Craig Groeschel, this is Craig Groeschel, and I believe he's infinite right, 1,000%, whatever you want to call it. You can't just change your behavior, because your behavior you can change it for a few weeks, maybe a few months, but if you just do your will and try to change your behavior, you will eventually come back to that habit.
True.
But if you get down on your knees or if you pray and say, hey, look, God, I'm inviting you into my life to change my life from a spiritual standpoint, that's different.
Yeah.
And that's where I think things start to change the way you want them. I am not perfect. And I am not, I thought that was Kathy. That's actually my mom from college, probably texted me whether or not they can meet us for
I
dinner
thought it was
tonight.
the guy that owns Oma's and walks
There you go. It could have been Doug. But no, we have to change our heart. And the only way we change our heart is through the power and Holy Spirit of God. And that's my.
Are you familiar
that's
with
how finances are gonna? That's how any area is gonna change. If you want to work out, if you like, I struggle with food, and a week from yesterday, actually, we're doing one Sunday. If you see this, and I know you, your family, or your friends, Sunday at 12:30, you need to be at my house. If you don't know how, get a hold of me. I'll tell you how to get there. We had 73 last year. We're hoping to have 100 this year. But I want to have people in our lives.
What did you just invite people to?
Our Thanksgiving bash. It's our second one, and we're going to do this every year.
It's on this coming Sunday?
It's this coming Sunday at 12:30.
12:30 out at the
out at our shop.
Yeah. And you're going to make Kathy cook for it?
Everybody's cooking.
Also,
We are providing the meat. We're actually
and then everybody's bringing
we're
side
actually
dishes?
yes, we're actually bringing getting the meat done through a local barbecue.
So when you say
place.
everybody's invited to this,
all friends, if you don't have a place to go for Thanksgiving,
can this
you
be
need to come.
considered like, RoofCon is doing like these shows like
No.
the
No,
Road
this
to
ain't
RoofCon?
This ain't RoofCon.
Is this the Road to RodneyCon?
No, this isn't.
Because
no,
RodneyCon's coming up the 1st
No.
of January, right?
No, we'll talk about that later. But
Who's
this is
invited?
for
Sunday. Who's invited out to Rodney's place?
all my family on both sides, all Kathy's family on both sides, and friends, any friend that we know. Or hey, if you don't have a place to go for Thanksgiving, you get in touch with me. We'll
So
figure
could
it out.
Eric Richardson go to your
Absolutely.
Thanksgiving?
He fly into Dallas, I'll come pick him up.
How about the great Chuck Allen? Could he go?
He's always invited. He's already told me he's not going to be able to come this year.
Oh, how about Doug?
Doug's always anybody. Yeah.
How about the Terrell football coach?
Oh, Marvin Sudbury's always invited, but he's going to be getting ready for the third round.
Let's see, who else could we invite?
Well, you and Shelly are invited, and the kids.
Well, I'm invited.
Yeah.
I'm going to be watching the Eagles game.
Well, you can come watch it there.
That's true. Okay, so now that you're going to make Kathy cook turkey on Sunday, and you're going to have
Well, she's not cooking turkey. We're getting that brought in from a barbecue place.
Who cooks more in your family, you or her?
She does. I will cook every once in a while, but I'm not even gonna go there because she would bust her and the kids would bust me.
I think it's only appropriate since I've already told on you once today. I'm going to tell on you again. Sometimes we
Please.
go out to eat, and Rodney just turns his nose up at the food, and he looks at it, and he kind of shoves it off to the side. He goes,
No, I don't.
That's not as good as Kathy. You did it with a chicken salad sandwich.
Oh, that's right. I did.
Yeah, he does it all the time, folks.
So Kathy,
I take him out to eat. He gets the food, and then he shoves it to the side and says, that's not as good as Kathy's. Or he says, my chicken fried steak's
It's
better.
not. There's 4 people in my life that could cook as good as anybody I've ever been around. And that's my grandmother. My grandmother could just blow it out. My mom could cook very well. The lady that just texted me, Paulette Pendley, is a phenomenal cook. And my wife. My wife is a
who's
phenomenal
Paulette?
cook. She's a college mom from kind of go away from home type deal. And I'm very close to the boys and daughter. Natalie is the reason I wanted to have a daughter in my life. And the boys are, Travis and Lance are outstanding. The husband, Larry's a great man. Some of my first business thoughts came from him. And Paulette is an entrepreneur like us, just recently retired, and just wonderful people, and I can't say enough about them. So,
Okay, so we want to keep on moving here. Is Kelly a good cook?
yeah,
She is?
Uh-huh.
That's cool.
And she baked. growing up, she would like to bake, and she's really a better baker. And
Did she do that dessert table at your birthday? That was awesome.
she
that
was
dessert
part of
table.
it. She was part of it. I don't
Callie,
know.
props on the dessert table. That was good, girl.
But she also makes a mean Sofapia cheesecake.
A what?
I think it's called Sofapia cheesecake.
So, oh wow, I'm
I
gonna have
think-
to have that someday.
Yeah, she makes a mean. You know what? I might get her to make it in January.
Okay, Rodney, I've had my fun. It's time for you to continue. What else you got on your
So
notes?
on the finances, all I would say is do a deep dive, and the way you do a deep dive is you write out every expense. You go to your credit cards, you go to any accounts you have, and you just write out what they were, and then write out the revenue, so you know what was coming in versus what was going out. And if you're living above your means, then take all the debt. Like we have about 7 debts. We have 3 cars. We have a house. We have a business loan that I took out in January in 2020 that I should not have taken out, but I did. And then we have a couple, 2 or 3 small loans, and we're actually going to pay off the 3 smaller loans in the next month. And then we're going to get on a plan that I'm creating and developing, and that we're going to start knocking out. And it's kind of similar to what you call a snowball plan. You take the 3 that we're fixing to pay off, we're going to add those payments that we were making and add it to the next largest. And then once we get that paid off, we're going to do another one and add it to the next largest. I've seen people knock this out in less than a year. I've seen some people take 18 months, but in most cases, I've seen people knock these things out in 2 years. And here's the thing. I'm doing this because I want to glorify God in all my areas. And there's 3 areas that I still struggle with. And maybe even, and here's the thing about Satan. He will come to whatever you, he's not going to be black and white. He's going to make it enticing, and he's going to come to you. So when I want to go to the women's Final Four, let's just say, and I'm not a really big women's basketball fan, but the last few years I did go to a women's Final Four when it was here in Dallas. When I want to go to that, it might be my better option right now to watch it on TV and to take, I had a friend of mine that I've become really close to in the last year or two, and he's like, man, you're going everywhere. And that was another thing that kind of gave me an eye-opener. So thank you, Chris. I mean, because first of all, we need to take things in moderation. And
we can't just name drop here without saying who it is. Who's Chris?
He's a friend of mine out of Louisiana. And
the golfer.
Yes. And so
okay.
Anyway, what I'm getting at is we can't just cut it off. I don't want you to, it's not where you just cut it off, but it would be to where maybe you take things in more moderation. And that's what I began to see when I did my deep dive is, you know what, maybe I don't need to go here this time and go, but I am going to do this. And like I told my wife, I think the other thing that people don't do is they don't plan. They react. And so you're caught out in shopping, or you're caught out, you've been a long day and you just pull through the drive-through and you get a Whataburger. And because you didn't plan out and you know, well, she's not going to have anything at home, so I'll just go through this Whataburger. It won't hurt this time. But then the next day you're caught out again, and you, instead of coming home and eating a sandwich for lunch, you eat out again, and there you go. You've eaten out twice, and then there you go. That's where you go. And it was, I don't know, Eric, it was the EDI. It's the same thing. I think you told me you took one out. So it's whatever the percentage was on the EDI.
You know what I want to know, though?
That was to answer Eric's question.
Eric wanted to know what the interest rate was.
Yeah, it was the EDIL, so whatever those rates are. But my point is,
no,
you do stuff
if
off
you
the
do
cuff.
pull through a Whataburger on your way home,
Mm-hmm.
what's your order?
Number 1 with cheese, no onions.
Number 1 with cheese, no onions.
Mustard, fries, and a Coke.
Water
so
sized.
It's real healthy right there.
Water size to a large?
No, I don't water size it.
You just get it the way it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just not healthy.
You know, the regular, just the way it comes, that
Mm-hmm.
that drink is big enough.
Oh, it is.
And if you get it too big, then it kind of like sits in your cup holder and it falls over?
Absolutely.
Whataburger or In-N-Out?
Whataburger all day long. I
Well,
don't care
can
what.
you- can you do
I don't
In-N-Out
care
in a
what
pinch?
Clint and Leanne say. It's Whataburger all day long.
Is this a reference to the great Clint Koppel? and
Yeah, it's.
Leanne?
I don't care what they say. It's Whataburger all day long.
Clint, what's going
And
on,
Eric
man?
would say that too. Eric would say that too. Eric would.
Clint Koppel. I'm going to say your name 3 times. Clint Koppel, Clint Koppel, Clint Koppel. Maybe the Facebook gods will show you this, and you'll actually hear your name on air.
Yeah, there you go. So
He's
anyway,
busy touring the world.
yeah. So the
Rodney.
I'm just. So the finances, just to wrap it up real quick, do that deep dive and then start making some decisions from there. All right, and I think that will help and get a plan. You have to have a plan. Pray about it. I believe you need to pray about it.
So did you and Kathy come up with a plan?
We have.
Did you write something down?
We have.
And what did that
it's
look like?
ongoing. It's ongoing.
Okay.
But the ideal, and I think she agrees with me, we're still in discussion about it because I just finished it. But it's an ongoing deal of where you get a plan and then you follow through with that plan. And I think you'll see great results on the end of that plan. And the goal for me is to get out of debt. And then the goal for me is to continue working for another 8 to 10 years. And actually, I want to continue working probably till the day I die, but I may pull back some and work as needed and then enjoy the fruits. But also, I want to serve more. I want to serve more because that's the ideal is I want to serve God more and I want to serve in areas that I think I can be impactful and I want to learn this stuff. I want to get my physical shape better. I was listening about eating right food and all of that, and I want to get better at that, and I want to do some things on that. And with that,
I got a feeling that when you sat down and you did that budget, that you were the primary culprit of the guy breaking the budget.
Yeah,
It wasn't Kathy.
No, it was me. I admit it.
She don't even spend any money.
It was me all day long. It was me all day long.
Unless she garage sales.
I owned it. I told Kathy it's on me, and but I want to work as a team and work as a team going forward because I think we can realize some dreams, and I think we can do some things that will be significant in our lives and that will affect not only us but our family down the line. And I think will affect others as well. And I think Kathy shares that.
Sure. Kathy is a good woman. I'm a little concerned about Eric Richardson, though.
Why?
Because he chose In-N-Out over Whataburger.
You know, he's a Californian. And California is already, it's kind of like Del Tacos. They choose these franchises and these way out there type businesses that they're okay, but they're not the real thing.
Have you ever had Taco Mayo?
Uh-huh.
It's pretty good.
It's all right.
How about Taco Casa?
Oh, yeah, I have banned myself from Taco Casa.
Why?
Because it's one of the things I struggle with and I don't want to be that, I could eat there a lot.
I pulled through last night or a couple nights ago. Shelly wanted something, and then so I got a Taco Casa burger.
The chili burger?
Oh, that stuff's
I know about
good.
them.
That's crazy good.
Yeah, they're good.
And then Shelly got some tacos. I think we loaded up on all the food we wanted. It was like $6.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's cheap. The
It's cheap.
tortillas are the best.
Oh yeah, they're so
They're
good.
steamed tortillas. They're the best. So yeah.
Where's the Taco Casa out by your house?
Crandall.
It's in Crandall.
Yeah, Crandall has one.
Speed
Waxahachie
Trap
has
USA.
one.
If you're going through Crandall, slow down.
You're right. Crandall and Waxahachie both have one. Terrell has one too. I forget. Terrell
Oh, it
has
does?
No, I'm sorry. They have Taco Bell. They used to have one. They used to have a Taco Plaza.
Yeah.
That was the forefront to Taco Casa. So, but yeah. And yes, Eric, I should have done what you did with yours, but I didn't. He took his SBA loan. It was a 3%, and then he doubled it since 2020, and I didn't do that. And I should have done that. But I wasn't in a good financial spot, and I'm trying to get in a better, and that's what
Rodney,
I'm
every
trying to
loan
do.
I've ever taken out, I've spent it.
There you go. And that's our problem, is that we are not taught that way. And so what I would do is there's so much information out there today on YouTube, books that you can get. And I think if you want to get a start and turn that around, I think anybody can. I hear stories. I heard a story of one guy that was getting a divorce that was $300,000 or $400,000 in debt, and he turned it around in 36 months.
Oh.
He had not only paid that off, but he had $1.3 million in the bank, and he was out of a job.
Wow.
And he took any job he could, and he worked. And then, of course, 2 weeks ago,
And he sat down with his wife at the kitchen table and said, "You need to cook more."
And
How did he do it? That's a
I
lot of money to turn
I don't know
around.
how he did, but he did it, and he got frugal. And then, of course, we talked about 2 weeks ago about the guy that invested.
Ronald Reed
was a janitor,
Yeah.
and he invested over his life.
He spent no money.
and left 8.9. Now, and again, I don't believe that you should be so frugal that you don't enjoy life. You need to enjoy life, and I think that. But now
You still got to make it to the
gears.
golf course, right?
Let's go back. Yeah, let's go back to the football now.
Okay.
Let's switch gears. Terrell versus Huntsville. So Eric lives in a state where high school football is very big as well.
It is a big
even though he
football
would
state.
say surfing is larger. So tonight Terrell's playing Huntsville, and they're meeting in Waco at Baylor's McLean Stadium.
And you said that's because they want a neutral site.
Yes,
Okay.
and they're doing it at a neutral site. And Huntsville are the Hornets. They're 7-4, and they're one of two teams I think still left in our region. It's weird that UIL makes us play people down south and call it the same region, because I don't believe it. I don't think it's should be the same region, but they've got all these different divisions now. But Terrell is playing Huntsville, and then if they win, they will play the winner of South Oak Cliff and Mount Pleasant. South Oak Cliff has been in the state championship multiple times in the last 5 years. And then Terrell narrowly beat, I think it was 35-21, narrowly beat Mount Pleasant in like week 3 or week 4 of the season. It was a non-district game. So it was a really close game. And so either one of those are going to be tough matchups. I think tonight will be a tough matchup. We're going to see exactly what type of team Terrell has. Terrell has not lost a game. They've averaged 56.7 points a game
Wow.
in 11 games. They're on pace to score almost 600, 700 points in a season, which would be one of the top seasons.
That would have to be a
high school
record.
football. It's not. No, there's more. I've looked that up because I was curious about that, and there's more people there are teams that have scored more. South Lake Carroll's one of them in past seasons. There's teams out of state that have scored more. But the interesting thing I've found also in looking up is Huntsville comes in with a 7-4 record. They're on a 5-game winning streak, including the first round last week, and they've only given up 50 points one time. And I think other than that, they've only given up 40 points one other time.
So it's offense meets defense.
So it's a good – but Terrell has a good defense as well. In fact, Terrell will get all over you on the ball, and they will go to the ball. So it's going to be two good defenses.
Is this one of those games where you make a prediction?
I think Terrell's going to win this game. I think it's going to be closer than what we thought. And I didn't know they played last night. Thank you, David. That gives me some. I didn't realize that they played last night. So
South Oak Cliff put the whooping on them.
So yeah, South Oak Cliff is
Go back to the farm.
Like I said, they're good.
Mount Pleasant boys.
They're really good, and I was hoping South Oak Cliff would win because I want Terrell to play. I think in order to be the best, you got to beat the best. And
South Oak Cliff reminds me of my friend Danny Noah. Hey, Danny.
Thank you, David, for updating us on that. So, so Eric's high school plays tonight. Hey, Eric, text me when they text me the result. But seriously, I do hope that Terrell wins, and I hope they get to play South Oak Cliff because I think it's going to be a good game. I would think
It's going to be a clash.
And I think here's what I'll say. I think Terrell wins tonight, 38-20.
Yeah.
I think they win tonight, 38-20.
They just put a whooping on Mount Pleasant.
I'm not worried about that. They're just trying to do that for points to try to intimidate. That ain't going to intimidate us.
48. Does that say 48?
46-7.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
that's a
they're not.
whooping.
Nah, they're not going to. That's not going to intimidate us.
Okay.
So we got to get past. We got to win tonight to be able to play next week. And so if we win tonight, we will play, and it'll be in the DFW area.
Now, does Huntsville have any blue chip guys?
Yeah, they have a good team.
Yeah.
They have some good athletes, and they're going to be good.
Now, Terrell's got several guys that are going to go D1, right?
Maybe. He's got Texas Tech came by last week. He posted or earlier this week. He's got some opportunities for his kids. So I heard this last night. I forgot who told me. When Sudbury got there, the program was down to 28 players playing in varsity.
Yeah.
He has over 100 now playing from.
Boy, he built that thing up, didn't
freshman, from freshman in high school up to varsity level. And that's impressive.
That is impressive.
That is very impressive that he's got over 100 kids playing. But appreciate you, Eric. Happy Thanksgiving to you. And so I want to close with him saying Happy Thanksgiving. I want to close with that. But I hope Terrell's going to win. And I actually hope that when we meet 2 weeks from now, we will either be playing in the regional final or we will have lost either tonight or next week. And so hopefully when we come back in 2 weeks, I'm talking about Terrell again that they're playing. I mean, we'll talk about the season.
Yeah, we'll see.
Either way, but hopefully we're talking about getting ready for a game that night. And we'll see what happens. But at the end, next week is Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. Do you have a favorite memory?
Of Thanksgiving?
Yeah. Tell me your favorite memory.
Oh, shoot. Oh, my favorite memory is when my wife and I got together and my grandmother was still alive and my papa was still alive and my great-aunt Wilma was alive. My great-aunt Wilma and my grandma used to cook. And they would whoop up an old-fashioned Thanksgiving. I mean,
did you ever go over to the house early and just smell the aroma?
Yeah.
Wasn't it just nice? I used to ride my bike up to my grandmother's.
Loved it. And then I'd sit down with my papa and we'd watch the Cowboys play on Thanksgiving. Yeah. And, when you're in those days, you never realize that they're going to end someday.
Yeah.
And, he passed away in a car wreck, and then she passed away, and my great-aunt Wilma moved to a nursing home in Kansas, and those days are gone. And you realize, well, now you're the one that's making the traditions. Yeah. So, I'm looking forward to seeing my mom.
The traditions change a little bit, and that's sad to me in some respects because, like you, I used to go to my grandmother's house, and my mom was a part of 3 sisters and a brother, and we did everything with those 4 and their families. There were 6 grandkids. I was counting it up this morning because I thought I might mention it. There were 10. There are 10, I believe, or 12 great grandkids now. But there were 6 grandkids, and so anyway, we used to go there, and 3 of the grandkids always played football in the front yard. We just played tackle the man. One of them was a girl, and then 2 of her brothers and me. So I guess it was 4 of us. 4 of us would play. The other 2 were older and didn't really. The daughter of the 2 that were older were brother and sister from the oldest daughter, and so the older daughter might have played a little bit, but not very. But it was mainly us. It was me and the 3 from the brother of my mom. And so those were always fun times, great times. But my favorite memory is going to be just last year at our first annual Thanksgiving bash. I looked up about halfway through the lunch, and I looked up, and over at this table was my daughter, my son, my niece on my dad's side, Actually, my niece on my sister's side, I have an older sister. Her youngest daughter's 3 kids, and then the second daughter's 3 girls, and then 1 or 2 of the boys from the son were all sitting at a table just talking.
Yeah.
As cousins, as second and third cousins,
Good
and they were
memories.
just talking. And I reached out to both of those, to all 3 of those, the nephew and the 2 nieces, and I said, "Man, I sure hope the kids come back again this year, because it just warmed my heart and warmed my wife's heart that all of them were just sitting over there just talking for an hour or so, and just talking and sharing, not on their phones. And for me, that's what holidays are about. And
Rodney, why
just
don't we take the last
relationship.
94, 95 seconds we got
Yep.
here?
94.
Maybe 95.
Okay, 95. That's interesting, Andrew.
And put a bow on it and leave us with closing thoughts.
Yeah. So, like I said, finances kill marriages. And I would tell you right now, get your finances in shape. Take this time. Take the time to get your finances in shape. My marriage was not in trouble, but at the end of the day, I want to have a better financial picture in my life, and I think God gives us more blessing when we become a better steward. And so I think if we become a better steward with what He blesses us with, then He's apt to bless us with more. And I think Malachi 3:10 gives a shining example of that, where He basically told the Israelites, "You're robbing me, but test me and see if I won't open up the floodgates to where you'll never have a need again." And I think that's a paraphrase of Malachi 3:10 through 12, I believe. And in the verses, if you read that, if you go to Malachi 3:10, read the 4 or 5 verses before, where He's showing the Israelites where they robbed them. And I think that's a clear example of what we do. And then God wants us to be a cheerful giver. And I think that's important. And then I love sports. And Eric, he was commenting, Eric Richardson, a friend of ours out in California, was talking about how he loves sports. I think sports teaches life lessons that you can't get anywhere else. And I'm a firm believer in sports. I try to play golf a lot with my own son. I know another father and son, and actually a father-son and father and daughter. He's got a son and daughter, and he plays with both of them right out of Mansfield. And he's a great guy, and he spends a lot of time with his kids. They go to sporting events, and much like me and Reese do, and much like me and Kathy do. And I think that's important, to invest and spend time with each other. And I think sports are life lessons that we sometimes snooze on. If you don't like sports, there are other areas that you can find lessons in. And I also think during this time in the holidays, put your phones down and spend time with family, because we don't know how much longer we have. On the way over here, I got a lady, I'm not going to mention her name, but she's in the Kaufman County area. And I would just ask everybody that's watching this, say a quick prayer for my friend PB, is how I'm gonna name her initials. Some of you in Kaufman County may know. She just sent a text out that she has stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and she's fixing to go, after the holidays, go through some heavy chemo. And I want to pray for her, and I'm going to pray for her. But I want others to, if you're the praying type, please say a prayer for this lady. She's a great person, a wonderful person who was in Kaufman education system for a long time. And she's just a wonderful person. And nobody should have to do that. I wish we could get a cure for cancer, because it's a bad thing. And both of us have been affected by it.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, you got to spend time with people in your family, because you never know when that day's coming where you're going to take your last breath. And my heartful thing to you this Thanksgiving, this Christmas, is find family and spend time with them.
Wow, man, sobering closing comments, Rodney. Hey, this has been Tiger Talks, Episode 8. We've had a lot of fun. I learned a lot today. Really enjoyed the talk on finances. Thanks for
Thank
bringing
you.
that, man.
Absolutely.
Being so transparent.
Absolutely.
Andrew, thanks for running the board, participating. Thank you, Mama Swisher, for jumping on live. Eric and David and everybody that's watched today. Great episode. Tiger Talks episode 8 is in the can.
There you go.
Peace out. Make it a
Go
great
Tigers.
day.